That voice right there is royalty. One of the most respected people in the region that I grew up in, Heather B.
Town business.
It was an honor to have her on the show back then. And at that time, we were learning so much about the cannabis industry. It forced me to do more research on it to find out what's behind it. I wanted to know about the mechanics. I wanted to know about the wealth gap, the disparities. I wanted to know about the firewalls, the obstacles that were being put in place to prevent people from our community to benefit from the infrastructure that we created. And it was this queen who's here with us today. We've been talking about queens all day. Sue Taylor, who really struck my interest in it and did more research on it, and we've been communicating ever since. She leaves some of the most brilliant and inspiring messages on my texts pretty much every day. You know, and so we communicate a lot, and we've been trying to make this happen again. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to make it easier on this queen. I told her we was coming to L.A., so she didn't have to fly all the way to New York.
And she's an early bird.
To get up early. But I want to welcome her back to the show. Please give it up for Sue Taylor. Hey.
Woo! Hey, Sue. Oh, yeah.
The mother Theresa of cannabis?
Ooh, yes. Well, I've been referred to as the Mother Theresa of cannabis. I hadn't heard that term in quite a while. It actually almost in 5 years, because so much has evolved since the first time I was on the show. Because when I was here 5 years ago, we didn't have a cannabis club. We were seeking to get a legal cannabis permit.
Okay.
And the story today is that we have that permit.
Okay.
But it did take us 12 years.
12 years.
It took us 12 years because, for one, it had to be a legal, permitted cannabis dispensary because we were people of color. And how I became Mother Teresa, or the trusted face of cannabis, it was my son Jamal's idea to open up a cannabis dispensary, but they won't let black males have to be very careful how they operate.
Okay.
And so I became the face of it, even though I was afraid of it. But I had to be pushed to the front because he couldn't have opened doors the way I did. They never would have let him in, and they'd have been on him. And if anything would have went wrong, we'd have been arrested, you know, as people of color. So we had to make sure we were in the right city, in the right place to make it happen.
Wow. Talk about that 12 years, that process of 12 years. What happens and why, and does it happen that way for everyone? Does everyone go through 12 years?
Mostly for people of color, it takes 12 years or more. If you want a legal cannabis permit, it'll take that, because you got to realize who you're fighting against, or who you're not even fighting against, who you're up against. Because most of the people, when we were trying to get the permit, they had a lot of money, and most of them were white males. You know, and here we were a family, you know, my son and Kishwa, my daughter-in-law, and our family's money, and we weren't equity partners. We used our own family money to get it started. And we were turned down a lot. They wouldn't see us when we would go to try to rent a building. They would turn us down when they found out we were people of color. Of course, it was hard to get a permit because they didn't make it easy accessible to us. But you know what I did? When we tried a lot of states to get, we were here in L.A. trying to get a legal permit. That didn't happen. But we went to Berkeley, and Berkeley was offering one permit, and there were 12 applicants. And when I wanted to see the mayor and the city council, now think back 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, what I had to do to get my foot in the door. I'm also a former Catholic school principal, and I'm also a former commissioner on aging for Alameda County. So when I would call the mayor and the city council people to talk to them about cannabis, what I would do is their receptionist would say, okay, you want to talk to Councilman Greg? Who are you and why do you want to talk to him? So I says, oh, I'm a commissioner on aging for the county. I want to talk about seniors. So I got my foot in the door.
That's right.
All right.
You see, you have to, you really just, you got to be smart. You have to figure out what they want. And I did that with even speaking with the black pastors. I never would tell them I wanted to talk to them about cannabis. Commissioner on Aging, Farmer School principal. I want to talk about health and well-being.
Okay.
You see, because cannabis is health and well-being. So once I get in, they hear I'm a Catholic school principal. They see I'm credible. I'm articulate, and I'm very well educated. And more importantly, you guys, I genuinely care.
Yes.
And that comes across. And so once I get them with that, then I bring in the cannabis. And they're much better. They receive it because now they know me. Because now they see my energy, they see my concern, and I don't fit the mold of what we've been taught about cannabis. You see, I didn't fit it, and so I was able to lobby all the city council in that fashion. So you come up with a plan, and as people of color, you learn early on how to maneuver on this earth.
Adjust.
Code
How to
switch.
adjust. All of that.
Yeah.
You learn quickly. A code. I like that, Heather B.
Well, that was Tracy, but but
Was that
Heather's
Tracy?
Oh, yeah, it was Tracy.
Okay.
But it looked like Heather. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so that's how I was able to do it. And what we did was we had heavy competition with a lot of money. A bunch of white guys with money had clubs already, and the short of the story is we beat them all out.
Okay.
The mayor and the city council gave us a unanimous decision for that fourth permit. For the fourth permit, and the city of Berkeley residents. They had an election, and they said, we'll have one more cannabis club in Berkeley. The 3 that are already here will be grandfathered in. Okay? And then we got it unanimously. But then it was a very interesting thing happened that night. They not only gave us that permit, they gave it to 2 other applicants.
The same permit? What does that mean?
They gave them 2 cannabis permits.
Really?
Yes.
When there was only one available, you said there was only one available. When they made 2 others available. Just like that.
After our hard work, all of that, they did.
Can you talk about that the prejudiceness that happens in the cannabis industry? And cannabis in itself has been going through a bad rap. And we talked about how stigmatized it is when last time you came up here 5 years ago. Since then, you've been seeing a lot of deaths from folks who are smoking weed. What's that called? Fentanyl?
Fentanyl, yeah.
Fentanyl that's been laced in the weed and the whole nine. How do you make somebody comfortable with cannabis, with all of these headlines happening? Folks are dying from fentanyl-laced cannabis, and it has an addictive quality in it now because of the way it's grown. Some of the soils that people are using has different chemical based in the soil, and it's affecting the plant. The speedy way that the plant is being grown ain't natural. What do you say to that?
You could eliminate that by going to a reputable, permitted cannabis dispensary where they test all the medicines. You don't buy it on the street, and you don't go around the corner if it's not a legal one. Because in the state of California, and even when I worked for Harborside, they tested that medicine before it was a requirement, so you don't get all that
Junk.
That junk. And here's another key: It's all about education, education, education. You have to educate the constituents, educate people about cannabis, about what cannabis does and does not do, and how it will benefit you. I see cannabis as a healing medicine, and I was once afraid of it. I was scared to death of it. And once I worked with people using cannabis at Harborside, and I saw people with cancer, though the cells shrinking from the use of cannabis. Pain went away from the use of cannabis. The quality of life went away with the use of cannabis. Then I began to change my mind. I had to, because it was nothing that I had read. It's something I witnessed with people, with real live people. And when I saw that, Sway, I said straight up, I'm scared to death of this, but there's no way I could leave this earth, go make my journey to the other side, knowing I could do something about this plant and help people see the real benefits of this plant. And so I made a commitment. I made a commitment with myself to the universe. I'm going to do what I can to bring awareness to this. And it was so valuable to me, you guys, because, and listen to this, the pharmaceutical approach to healthcare is not working. We're using pharmaceuticals to manage our health, and it's actually killing us. The side effects of those pills are killing us. Now, pharmaceuticals have its place. They were made for sick people for temporary use. But we're using it now to manage our health. And the side effects of those are keeping us in a fog, keeping us sick. Just take a pill. No, it's plants over pills. It's plants over pills.
Plants
Yo,
over pills.
Sue
Oh
is
my
killing
God.
it.
We should have brought him a sweatshirt that said that. We have them in our company.
Okay, I'm XL.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that too as well, what I'm doing now and in the company. But you see, and to every listener today, know that there's another way. And you are in charge of your body, you're in charge of your mind, you're in charge of your life, and you have to make a decision. If you're going to do how everybody else is doing, you're going to end up like everybody else. I am 75 years old.
Come on.
I don't take a pill for anything.
Woo!
I'm totally healthy. I exercise. I do yoga. I ride a bike. I do water pump, body pump. I meditate. I do acupuncture, and I also do chiropractic care. I look for alternative ways to heal my body when the body gets a discord. But the first thing I do is go within. I check with my body to see, okay, what do you need? We have never been taught to be one with the body. Your body heals. Your body heals. I'd heal myself of asthma. It's just been this cannabis journey. I thought it was my son's journey, but it was mine.
It was yours. He was the conduit. You
Yes.
know, he was the catalyst. Real quickly, you brought us some gifts, and you was talking about some of the products that Pharmacy Berkeley. Is it Pharmacy Berkeley? What's the name of the?
No, Glass House.
Glass House?
Brands, yes.
Glass House Brands is the brand. Talk about the products you guys are giving.
Yes. Well, you have, of course, Mama Sue. I have to just say a little bit now about Glass House Group.
Okay.
We partnered with them to be a part of a larger company. That's another thing you do when you start in a cannabis company. Make sure your partner is the right partner. They have the same values as we did. Glass House Brands, they pride themselves on, and they're vertically integrated, and we pride ourselves on focusing on the community, education, wellness, and good business practice. And we make some incredible products. And I went to the farm. We have, I think, the largest cultivation farm, I think, in the state of California.
Wow.
Possibly in the world. I went there last Friday. I've been there twice before. When they first bought it, it was all dirt. I think it's almost like a 150 acres.
150 acres, my God.
You want to go? You should see that. They took me on the lift.
I'm looking at it on the screen real quick, but go. They took you on the lift?
A lift, and I was lifted up. This was Friday. And Julie and them, they said, you want to get in the lift? You know, it's shaky. I said, I'm getting up there. And so I got up there, and I looked at the array of cannabis plants. And I had two thoughts, you guys. I had two thoughts. I said, look at all of this medicine that could heal people. Look at all of this quality medicine, the love that went into these plants that could heal people. And then the other thought came, I am so glad I partnered up and invested in Glass House Brands.
There you go.
Because, you know, there's a race for the bottom, and we're not at the bottom.
No.
Now, so a race for the bottom is a term they use in the cannabis industry
Yes.
because of all the snags and the pitfalls that they set up. It's hard to succeed.
Legalization really hurt us.
Yeah.
Because it's driving everybody to the illicit market, because now the customers can't afford the medicines. But we give a lot of free medicines away. We give to veterans. We help people. Our CEO said, Sue, I want you to go to Washington, D.C. So he said, I want you to go to the Weldon Project. And the Weldon Project, you guys, we give back. Glass House Brands, we give back. We do a tremendous amount of stuff. But one of the things that they asked me to go do is to talk to help. We're talking about clemency and expunging those people of color who've been incarcerated for minor cannabis
Offenses.
Offenses. And our CEO said, Sue, he called me, says, we got to do something. It's not right for us to be making money while they're still incarcerated. So I said, okay. So I went, and I was able to give my input in Congress about how that should be done.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know, I told them straight up. I said, you just can't turn them loose. You want to hurry up? Say, no, they need to be let out right now. No. I stood up and said this. No, you have to have something in place to assure their success. I said, these are people who've been incarcerated, and I said, they have to be trained to get back into the work source. And I said, it's the communities where they got arrested should help with that whole process and help with them success and indoctrinating them back into the community.
Come on, Sue Taylor. Sue Taylor.
Sue, can you adopt me? Like, can I be like your adopted niece or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like, we've been talking all morning, thanks to Serena Williams, about imagery and examples of women. And I'm blown away by you. And this is the second time we've been blessed to sit down and speak with you. And every single time I see you and I hear you speak, you are the example of how seniors, whatever that means in this world now, could live their lives. Like, if somebody would have walked in, they can't describe you as a senior. You are fly, you are beautiful, you are educated, you are supportive, you are all the things. And when I walk into my grandmother's bedroom and I see her dresser flooded with pills, it's disheartening for anybody out there that know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That bottle, those bottles, those labels.
Yes.
And it's like addiction.
Exactly.
And to your point, there's so much fear in that age bracket when you start to try to address the cannabis industry. It's like when my doctor said no, I shouldn't. Of course they're gonna say no because they need you to keep coming back. You know, to keep. It's just, you're such a breath of fresh air, and I'm just your adopted niece. That's
Thank
all
you.
I want to say.
I accept you as my niece.
Thank you.
Well, take some of the product, Heather. That's your
Yeah,
first
so I
gift from
wanted
your auntie.
So thank you. No, and this is beautiful because I think with the pain sometimes, in particular, my grandmother, I'm speaking directly, like she has trouble sleeping, and this is the first thing I picked up. So can you explain what this is?
Yes, Heather B. Most seniors, especially those of us who were afraid of cannabis, when they choose to come to cannabis, it's for only 2 reasons. They can't sleep and they're in pain.
Yep.
So my partners, we came up with 2 tinctures, one for sleep and one for pain and anxiety, that one. And they work, and it's not frightening because it's just some tinctures under the tongue, drops under the tongue.
Okay.
And it helps with that.
Wow.
But we train. We have free educational seminars and information on our website where people could go and look and read and find out all the information about what is CBD, what's CBN, what's THC, all of that, because they don't know. And you can't just give seniors and all of you adult children of aging parents. Just know me. I'm your grandma. I'm your mama. I'm your aunts. I'm your uncles. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. So we have to do what we can to educate them when they go to cannabis, because you just don't go smoke some cannabis. I used to think that.
Yeah.
You just smoke it like a cigarette. No, you have to know the results you want. And so we have great specialists like bud tenders that will ask you, okay, what's the results that you're looking for? Well, I'm in pain. I have anxiety. My knee hurts. And just giving them all the information, all the products of what we have that they could use. And see, we have Plus, we have Fields, we have Plus, we have Fields, we have our Glass House cannabis flower. That's the best. It's just quality. It just, we're a stickler for quality.
So so for everybody listening right now with aging parents or grandparents, so obviously the first thing the fear is don't take your medicine, and nobody's telling them not to, but they can do this. Like if I wanted to give this to my grandma for pain, she can do this in addition to, I could just give her a drop under her tongue in addition to whatever she just don't want to stop taking right now?
Yeah. Usually, but I would not recommend her stop any of her medications.
Right.
None.
Right.
None. And then I would incorporate some of that. And when you're working with seniors, especially if they don't have any cannabis in their body,
Right.
you always start low and slow. And then I usually have somebody write, whoever they're living with, write and watch and see how their body acts. You always start off with the smallest amount. See if they're feeling better, if they're feeling tired, just jot it down so you know to lessen it or take more of it.
Okay.
You just have to educate them. And here's another thing that you guys need to do. No, here's a suggestion.
Okay.
You have to send the right messenger to talk to your grandparents and your mothers. I was just talking with Julie and she said, my mother just afraid of it. And I said, well, you have to send the right messenger. Guess who's the right messenger?
That's you. All right. And Julian is her videographer who's here. We met at Syracuse when we went and did a broadcast there years ago.
That's where we met him?
Yeah.
Wow. That was a while ago.
I've seen him at South by
That was like 9
Southwest.
years
Yeah,
ago.
but and he's doing that. Look at that man.
Yeah, he's working with us.
There you go.
At Glass House. And you know what I'm doing at Glass House now? I'm the brand ambassador.
Come on
Okay.
now.
You better talk to
Listen.
her, Auntie
I'm
Sue.
the brand ambassador for Glass House, and my goal is to make Glass House the trusted household name for cannabis, because we care that much.
Yeah.
And we produce the best products.
Okay.
We care about what we make.
Okay. Sue Taylor is here, and I want to make sure we get we got a lot of people calling right now. I want to make sure we get them a chance to get in. But I had mentioned Pharmacy Berkeley, right?
Yes.
And that's a dispensary, right?
Yes.
On Sacramento Street.
On Sacramento and Alcatraz. And my daughter-in-law, Kiki Janama, she's not only co-founder, but she's also the general manager there.
Okay.
And it's booming.
So if I go there, Kiki gonna take care of me. I already know that.
You know
Oh,
that.
come on, you better stop.
Kiki gonna take care of you.
Okay, because I could get some products for my grandmother who's constantly always in pain.
Yes.
You know, you could rub something on her, but maybe you could come by our house in High Street and talk to her about it.
I would love that.
Okay, we got Daniel on the line from the PA. Daniel, rise and shine. What up,
Daniel?
What up, Daniel?
What's up, guys? What's up, Heather, Tracy, Sway?
Hey, D.
B? Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah. So basically, growing up, I got really screwed up at a pretty young age from antibiotics. By the time I was 14 years old, I was on about 12 pills a day.
Damn.
Wow.
All doctor prescribed. Yeah, certain ones had to be taken at certain times with or without food. It was a mess. And then my older brother, who is, I guess everybody would classify as a hippie, he did the jail time for selling weed. So, that conversation, sparks interest in me also. But he told me try weed, and I didn't believe him. And then I'm 18, 19 years old. All my friends are smoking weed, so I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try for fun. It was recreation at that time. And I got so screwed up one night. I saw little blue people dancing on my shoulders from smoking and mixing it with the medicine.
Yo, I was gonna say, you sure that was weed?
Right. Was that true?
Oh yeah, I thought. Well,
What weed?
So yeah, it was some good stuff, But yeah, so I cold turkeyed all my medicine that next day, and I had a rough sort of year after that. Withdrawal symptoms and all that. But to this day, I'm not on any medicine, and I'm as healthy as I've ever been.
Wow. Oh, thank you.
Woo!
Thank you so much.
So,
You're doing the
and
right
one,
thing.
and one more side note. Something my mom was obviously, pushed back against until she saw it actually work. And this last fall, she got Guillain-Barré syndrome from her COVID vaccine, and lost all feeling. She went, paralyzed in her legs and stuff, and she still don't have feeling in her feet except for like pins and needles. And she finally started using tinctures and things like that, and she's doing the best she's done since last fall.
Okay.
So
That's good. So
magical.
cannabis,
It does
you
work.
feel like cannabis saved your life in your particular circumstance?
Oh, absolutely. It 100%. Not only just the medicine's slowly killing you, but like I'm lucky, at that age to be on the kind of medicine I was. There are muscle relaxers and things like that. I'm lucky I'm not a heroin addict or, everybody wonders about that epidemic and where that comes from. Well, it all stems from the same place.
Okay. Daniel, thank you for sharing your story, brother. We appreciate you, man. You're a
Thank you,
citizen.
A Sway in the morning.
Yep.
One more. We got Carl on the line. Carl, peace and greatness. How you feeling, Carl?
What's up, Carl?
What's up, Carl?
What's up, fam? How y'all doing?
Excellent.
Morning.
Say hi to Sue Taylor.
Hi, Sue. How you doing today?
I'm doing incredibly well. Thank you for calling in.
I got a question. So my mom is one of those grew up Baptist. Think cannabis and weed is like the devil's work, but she's willing to take 42 pills, it seems like, every day.
Come on. What is that?
Right. That part.
And I'm going, so you believe in them, but you're not believing the natural, right? So how do I convince a church-going woman, my mom, that cannabis, or even try to convince her that cannabis is okay?
Well, for one, you have to send the right messenger. You see, you're not the person to, because
I have no knowledge. You're right. I have no knowledge on that, so I'm definitely not the one.
No,
Well, that's the answer. You got to send the right message.
You have to send the right messages. Somebody who, such as myself, but they have a lot of people like me, that that is not a stoner, obviously, well educated, and can educate her about what the plant does and how it can benefit.
Okay.
So look, when I'm doing presentations, I never try to convince anybody of anything, to use the cannabis. I said, if what you're doing is working for you, continue it. But if you're not happy with how you're feeling with all the pills you're taking, try some alternative medicines, like cannabis. But get informed about it first. And also, I want to say to everyone as well, when you decide to choose cannabis and start using it, always tell your doctor. Let him know whether he agrees with it or not. Make him aware, I'm going to start trying cannabis. So he'll know. So it's not, and if anything should counteract it, they'll know what to deal with. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's your privilege to tell them, but he can't tell you not to. But here's another thing. For people our age, it's if the doctor said it, don't do it. It's like God coming down and tell them you can't do that.
And that doctor might be in the pocket of a pharmaceutical company.
Is.
They want to give you some test medicines. Hey, this is this new product. You might want to try this.
Haven't even been tested yet.
Haven't even been tested. They tested it on your mama.
Exactly.
Yo, mama.
That's it. But people
Daniel-
don't realize that.
Yeah.
Daniel, this is what you can do when your Mama Daniel, in the next couple of days, go to swaysuniverse.com, sit down with her and watch this conversation with
Yes.
Auntie Sue. It's going to be great, man. And then your mom can get this information herself and hear it firsthand.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you for your call, man. You're a citizen, brother.
She's the messenger, Sway in the morning.
Trigger.
Yes, she is. I gotta say it, Sue. Your present self is who I hope my future self can become like. Sincerely, I'm very, very grateful for your knowledge. I'm curious, has your opinion changed about the quote-unquote stoner, someone who isn't using cannabis medicinally but is using cannabis to just enhance their experiences?
Yes. Look, I have a big problem with it here in the United States. I think that something is wrong with feeling good. For real, if you're feeling good, they say, something must be wrong. Why are you feeling that good? When people say, how are you doing? I say, I'm doing incredibly well. How do you get to feel like that? Mm-hmm. It's our natural state. It's our natural state. And people use cannabis. Say, I know I had a coworker, one of our business partners. He said, I had to go smoke some weed in the garage. And I said, he said, because it's the only way I could come back and deal with my kids and my wife because it was a hard day. So it's like popping a Valium, but only the cannabis was much more healthier. Mm-hmm. And he got to go back to his family and his kids and have a pleasant situation. Mm-hmm. So that's mental health. That's healthy. Mm-hmm. Do that rather than pop a pill because sickness is a money-making entity here in the United States.
If they cure it, they can't make no money off of it.
Yeah, they can't.
They can't make money off. They cure it.
Fact, right?
The money, the buck ends.
The pattern's done.
Yeah, the pattern's done. Mike Muse.
Yeah, it's all the pharmaceutical sale industry that's selling to the doctors the prescription, and the more doctors write prescription, they usually give those doctors the office Christmas party, the holiday treats. They invite them to special dinners, and then the pharmaceutical sales company allow the special doctors to be speakers on the circuit for that pharmaceutical company.
Right.
And so that is why that doctor often writes scripts oftentimes, and why they give samples to you is because the pharmaceutical sales reps are sampling the prescription to encourage the doctor to write more scripts. So they're incentivized to actually write the prescriptions for you. But that wasn't my question, though, Sue, but that was just to Daniel. I'm curious about, and I know you talked to Daniel about, is the right messenger that comes? That's more from an individual perspective. I'm curious to see what your conversations was like with the church and the clergy when you were applying for the license to do that. And just as a side note, you said that story very casually, but audience, for those who are not familiar with the licensing process, what Sue did was short of amazing. The fact of with the city council members usually already have their cannabis representatives that they want to bring on board.
You got it.
Are already in the pocket before the license application already goes out. And the reason why they were able to extend more licenses to 2, and they said 1, is because city council controls the number of licenses that are permitted to be obtained. And so they can do workarounds around that. And so how you maneuver that was short of brilliant and short of genius. The other part is the clergy, because they have such a stronghold in the community. So for you to win over the clergy is a feat unto itself, because you usually can't get meetings with the clergy, and the clergy usually say no before they even think about you. So what was it like with the clergy in those conversations?
Well, at first, of course, they were very reluctant, but once they saw who I was after I got my foot in the door, I was asked, and I talked with them about coming to speak and educating not only the church members, but also talking with the youth of the church about a cannabis, about how that would happen. And so that's how you do it. And some people, I was telling, when you begin talking, they start off, you pay attention to the body language. Legs crossed, hands crossed, scowls on the face.
They already got,
exactly,
yeah.
Exactly. So I wasn't invited back anymore. but now,
how can you not be invited to a church?
Exactly.
Right? That's supposed to be open door
But,
policy, right?
But things have changed.
Yeah.
Things have really changed since.
Just things have changed.
Since things have changed.
Yeah.
And I've also they didn't even want us where Pharmacy Berkeley is now in Berkeley. And all of our stores are called Pharmacy Santa Barbara, Santa Ana, Pharmacy Santa Ana. Pharmacy is always the start, and it's with the F.
Got it.
Yeah,
FAR.
yeah. And so, but anyway, now I forgot my topic.
The clergy.
The clergy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said times have changed.
Times have changed. Oh, thank you. I got it.
You're welcome.
In Pharmacy Berkeley, we needed a place to park our delivery cars, and so we went to the church down the street and said, "Can we use your parking lot?" "No, we don't deal with cannabis money." We said, "Okay," and so they.
Damn.
So I went. I said, "I need to make a appointment with the pastor," and I had a heart to heart with him, and he said that the people in my congregation don't want to have anything to do with it. I said, "But don't you guys need money?" You know, I said, "You need money. All these churches during the pandemic, you need money to keep your church." And so anyway, the bottom line is, he came back to me. Yes, you could park, and we pay. You know, we pay him. And I said, just call it a donation if they have problems with it. But he changed his mind. But I went and had a one-on-one with him.
Yeah.
I did a one. And once you just sit down and talk with people, and when they see you're genuine, when they see you concerned, it works. And I know I was also asked, I have two groups that I'm just passionate about. Seniors. I know that's what I came on this earth to do, is to help seniors live their best life. And not, because most seniors, when they're 65, they're just waiting to die.
Yeah.
Right.
It shouldn't be that way. They should be enjoying their life till the day they go to the other side. Whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm just here to tell them, you deserve the best. Your Creator wanted you whole,
round of
perfect, and
applause. Come on.
complete.
Come on, there you go.
Perfect, whole, and complete.
Yes.
Living a life of joy, pain-free. Just happy. And look, who I know will save this country is the energy of you young people and the wisdom of us elders.
Working together.
Creating better families, better communities, better governments, resulting in a better world.
Yes.
And the young people, that's my other love. Because look, you guys are really going to change the world. But this is what you have to do. And I want to encourage you. Do the work you came here to do. Don't conform to what your parents tell you what job you should have. Go within. You were born with gifts and talents. You go for it. And let me tell you how you'll know it. And you'll know it. You have an inkling in it already. If it don't scare you, it's not the right one. It has to scare you a little bit. Because you move out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Look, I have affirmations. I look for opportunities to move out of my comfort zone, to learn more and be more. I do uncomfortable things to change my perspective on life.
Come on.
You know, I am now becoming the person I was created to be. You were born into greatness. Everybody on this call, you go within. You got to go within and be guided. And be guided. You have to. You chose to come at this time because you knew you could make a difference. Make that difference. Yeah, it'll scare you. I heard an analogy of it. Don't go back to what's secure. Don't go back to what's comfortable. You never find the butterfly trying to go back into the cocoon. He flies. He flies. You see, you were born into greatness.
Wow.
You were born good.
Come on.
You were born good.
Let's clap that up right
That's
there.
my
man.
auntie.
That's
Amen.
Auntie Sue
And that's
Taylor.
my future.
Come on. There you go. Clap it up. Clap it up. Listen, I love you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for blessing our airwaves today. Michelle in Texas wanted to know, is it okay to give children with health issues cannabis products?
Always consult with your doctor.
Uh-huh.
And They have really good Dr. Vanessa Niles. She's a cannabis doctor. Always consult with a doctor that knows cannabis.
Okay, there you go.
And just for clarification, I have no medical experience whatsoever. Everything that I've said is just a suggestion. But if you're going to, because I'm going to say when, I'm going to talk affirmatively. When you use cannabis, be sure and just consult it with your doctor. Just let him know. You don't need his approval, but let him know so he'll know. Because we don't want any surprises.
Absolutely. Sue Taylor, thank you for coming by this morning.
Yes.
Give a round of applause.
Woo!
They have an Instagram.
Of
right?
course they do.
Pharmacy Berkeley.
We have that. We also have Mama Sue Wellness.
Mama Sue Wellness.
What are our others, Heather?
That's the other Heather.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
There's a blonde Heather in here, too.
I turned around. I was like, I don't know, Auntie.
I'm sorry.
If Heather was blonde, that's who she is.
And they can also go to Glass House Brands. Go to our website.
Okay.
There's tremendous of we give to veterans. We give to
Beautiful.
We train incarcerated people who've just gotten out of prison in the cannabis industry.
Yeah.
Just go to our website. Learn more about what Glass House Brand does.
Okay.
That's amazing. Thank
you,
Yes,
Sue Taylor.
Thank you, Sue.
We made it happen, Sue.
Yes, you did.
Yes, indeed. We got more work to do. All right. All right. Cool.